everybody, welcome back to the Breach. We are deciding between Desert and Garbage Land here. This one has the Digger and Burrower. Those are hard to deal with all the time. For this team, the Burrower, if we set him on fire, or if he comes up to a tile that's on fire, he won't be able to attack. The Digger, though, that's a bigger problem, and I'm afraid of what that will become when he's an alpha. I think we need to get rid of this island now. Just because of that one enemy. There's not some friendly stuff here either, but I don't think it's as threatening. I think that the Digger will be the ultimate opponent for this team. I can swap that one out, though, if I need to. So that's really our secret weapon against him.
Yeah, I think that's your answer.
Four enemies with acid shouldn't be so bad. We get an acid tank for that mission. Acid and fire do stack, so we don't have to worry about that. So here's the enemy in question, an alpha with 4 HP that surrounds itself with rocks. I don't have a great answer for that. We can burn through and kill it when it has 4 HP like that. It will block fire damage. That 2 fire damage, though, will get knocked down to 1. So it won't die. The Burrower's problem is that all the damage I do, I think it cancels the fire when it goes underground. How are we going to kill enemies with acid when these are the enemies we have to kill? So attack over here. Ah, I see one good move here. We can have him kill his friend. That's one acid dead. I need to swap over. This guy chose not to attack this turn, and this Burrower wasted his attack, so really helpful friendly enemies here. It's really nice of them. I think I'll go ahead and light this guy. I haven't shown it off yet, obviously. The wind turbine. This is how it works. You can pick any of the 4 directions, shove everything 1 movement over. If it runs into the thing, it will do shove damage. So up top, our acid tank would hit that building for 1. Down bottom, they'd hit the boulder and hit for 1. Everyone else would move over 1. The only one who wouldn't, the Burrower, is immune to shove, so that wouldn't happen. I need to remember that I have this as an option. I don't think it's a great move here, though. It's unfortunately because these enemies...
You tagged the Firefly with acid and then swapped it over to the Burrower?
Yep, I can kill one of those 2. That's what I'm seeing. I'm deciding between the Scarab and the Firefly for the kill. The Firefly is doing something, so it's my target for that, whereas the Scarab I feel like is slightly more annoying. I normally would prefer that, but the Firefly really needs to go. It won't quite kill it, though. I will have to light it on fire or something. Or something. And I think I can do that still. Even with that, I still can make this happen. We will take a hit, and I think I'm okay with that. That one will die. This one will be dead next turn before it really becomes annoying, and you will go away. We will take 3 damage. We could just move out of the way, actually, because Chen's here. That's right, Chen. First time I've used that skill. Forgot all about it. No damage taken. We still need to kill 2 more enemies with acid, and I don't know how that's going to happen later. I've been using them to do it for me. There's proof that the burrower doesn't care about fire very much, unfortunately.
But you've got the one already set up. You can just get acid on the burrower before it burns down.
I can get that.
Yeah, set it up there, push the rock out of the way.
That gives me a good reason to light this guy anyway. The buildings are fireproof, so no concern there. The burrower, just perpetually a problem, just keeps on escaping. I can't do much about it. When it decides to be annoying like it is there. Big issue. We can drop this enemy and get the finish on the acid achievement. Rather non-threatening setup for us this time. All I have to do is swap this guy. Acid here. And shove this rock into the burrower and he'll go away. That should do it. Looks good. Here's where that 2 damage on the fire gun would really help out. Those burrowers, they just don't deal with this indirect damage too well. It's hard to get rid of them forever. You do not really want to have an enemy showing up constantly.
Movement's good to see.
I think I can go ahead with that movement upgrade and get the flamethrower upgrade. We don't really need 5 movement. 5 movement's nice, but it's not as necessary as 4 is, and we can reach further anyway. My next big upgrade is this. Power plants. And mech damage. Mech damage should be easy for this team. This one too would make more sense to do. There's something I can use for swap there. That's a better mission. It's more reasonable too. I don't need to swap. I have the Wind Torrent also. I haven't used it yet. Just because it's hard to use it when there's burrowers around. The way that it shoves everything is kind of an issue solving thing. I can shove that guy and his rocks downward. So let's go ahead and use it here. I'll block the spawn. I could go this way, left. And that works even better actually. All I need to do is get this guy out of my way first. With a shove, because I'll push him into the city. Going downward would block a spawn, make everybody miss. Block 2 spawns actually. That's not a bad move. Maybe I should just do that. And we can drink one of these 2. Let's do it. Show off the Wind Torrent here. Finally. Everything's going downwards. We grab our time pod. Spawn blocked. Theoretically, anyway, it's going to be cancelled, but... That's how that works. And with 2 energy on it, we can do that every turn. We can just do that 5 times in a row. It tends to make everything work out. If I did it to the left right now, I would have him hit his friend there, and we'd block a spawn and we'd kill an enemy. I'm gonna do it again. Wind Torrent. Why not? The burrower is not moving, and the digger goes first, so... There it is. That looks good. Like I said, I figured this enemy might be a problem. The torrent is solving it. We can swap it out and have it hit its friend again. I think I'll go ahead and kill the burrower. They are frustrating.
It was the only thing on the board that could escape from this kill zone you created.
All we have to do is continue to use this, and we'll continue to dodge everything. I do have 1 rock in my way preventing it, that's all. All I have to do is move it out of the way. Heading downwards. Ah, I need to be not where I'm standing. That's my mistake. You gotta make sure you check out the entire board. I shouldn't have moved at all on this guy. We shove this rock. Everything goes down safely this time. I think I can kill that enemy too if I want. I might as well. That looks fine. Oh, he didn't die. I thought acid would get him. How did he survive? I must have misread that. My mistake. That was silly of me to take damage on that. That's an interesting, strange gun. Not using that. Well, it is time to move towards that damage, and in the meantime I'll get movement, or backburn. I don't think backburn's as good as movement here. Well, I'm lucky that that was not an important grid that we just took a hit on. I'm gonna do this mission, I think. I feel like I can handle it. You see that? I'm glad I picked this map. We have another... Didn't really talk about this, but yeah. All you need to do to find the FTL pilots is look for the mountains that have a glow in them when they are cracked. There's one right there. We need to bust it open. While doing the mission, we need to bust it open and step on it to get that.
They'll be in mountains, or they can be under sheets of ice on the ice island.
I don't think I've ever seen that, or I've never noticed. Well, with the turbine, it should not be too bad to get that open. Turbine, I keep calling it the torrent. The wind torrent will help us get that safely. Man, that's nasty, that thing that they've done. So I want that. I'm not going to let that go. So I'm going to...
Well, the burrower's getting shot this turn.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's harmless.
My priority right now is that mountain. I'm just dead set on getting it. I'm trying to figure out a way to get it without messing up things.
If you slide everything down with the wind, then the flamethrower could walk to the spawn and shove that firefly against the mountain, and that would break it.
That's a good strategy, and I can block that spawn while I'm at it.
And then that just leaves neutralizing the regular firefly in the corner there. And yeah, you could physically block the shot with the shield.
Yeah, my problem is that I cannot do everything. Can't quite reach. I can push this guy over and he'll die. That's really what I should do. I will get this mountain. I'm pretty confident in that.
Alright, yeah, close enough.
I think I want them to shoot each other here. We'll get this later. He'll kill his friend a little bit.
That second one's still fast enough, though. Is it ahead of the burrower in the action order? Alright, good.
Yeah, they're good. None of them are gonna die anyway.
And they're shooting the mountain for you. Great. Everything's under control.
This line of fireflies. All we have to do is get out of the way and let them do that. I gotta figure out what to do with the rest of them, though. I kind of want to just slide them all down with the torrent. It's so good. I'm abusing the heck out of it. I know I am. I've resigned playing Flame Beams correctly. I'm just using Wind Torrent. I'm so excited to have it. If I shove them all southwest here, and I get out of the way, they'll blow the mountain open, they'll block a spawn, this guy will shoot his friend again, and this will be the only threat I have to deal with, and I'll have 2 mechs to deal with that. And I can light them all on fire, probably. I actually could grab the time pod right now by just getting out of the way. And then swapping one of them over here.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, that solves that, actually, now that I think about it. Looks good. He certainly is dead, yeah. Because he doesn't have armor anymore. He's gonna take 3 damage. We can set this guy on fire. And he's dead as well. Oh, that looks great. That's one hell of a turn. We do not have to go pick up that FTL pod. Now that it's on the field, it's just like a regular time pod. We get it automatically, now that we have launched it. But if I'm not mistaken, you do have to get it to summon by stepping on it, or else you don't get it. Well, this is one of those situations where Wind Torrent, again, is a solution, but we don't need to use it. I'm just gonna do this. That enemy is dead. This enemy is also dead. Swap you here, you'll block a spawn, and I can do some bonus damage. Looks solid. This really isn't a team that takes a lot of damage, especially with a Zoltan on the one mech that is out front all the time. So we're just ending with 0, it looks like. A Burrower doing nothing is their final move. Our swap mech is completely useless against the Burrower, unfortunately. Just absolutely worthless here. That's a turn. Big payday here. We're hoping... I don't know if you can have 2 of the same pilot, so we must be getting a new FTL pilot. One of the 2 that are remaining, and they're all really good. One of them I really want right now, though. And we got him. The Mantis. Cassiclet, the bounty hunter from FTL. 2 damage melee attack instead of repair. I was just talking about how this team does not really take damage. We have a move where we just attack for 2 directly. That is something this team needs. They've got it now. If I want him, who would I replace, though? Zhang here is not a bad pilot. I'm hesitating on replacing somebody that good. Mech Reactor and Mech Movement are very nice. I think maybe we'll save Kazak for later. I guess it depends on what upgrade Kazak gets, because if he gets Reactor as well, then it would be balancing out. We can put him on and see what upgrade he ends up with, but we will lose some power-ups if we do it right now. I could save him for later, or I could spend orbs to make up the difference in the pilot and try and level him up. I don't want to do that because I'll feel like I'll waste my orb towards this actual upgrade that we're still missing. Just to try and use the Mantis early. I don't think I should do that. I really like this pilot, though. Problem solver for a lot of the teams that start weak, do not have damage direct. And this is one of them, honestly. This is one of those teams. As good as we're doing, here's another really good pilot for them, just out the gate. The initial problem we had was not being able to get rid of the Blast Scion. Well, there's your answer. Just have Kazak run up and smack it for 2 damage and it's dead. 1 mech attack, 1 solution. It's really nice to have that kind of damage outright. We've been working towards having it on our artillery. You can't repair, though, so there is that concern. Mantis are bad at that. Pretty good for the hazard team, probably, too, since they can't repair. Maybe you just want to do 2 damage on the science mech that's with them. The acid bot. This looks like a fun mission. Where do I want to stand? It's incredibly likely that the Wind Torrent's gonna triple-eyes this. A few well-placed shoves, I feel like I could wipe out their team. Shove to the left. Place a shot here first. We would take out most of them. I'm left with the Burrower, though. Now we're in business. We're using his immobility against him. This is worth noting. We shoved and the web broke, even though those two went together. The webbing is free, and we are also free to do whatever we want. We can move this here and block a spawn. We can block another spawn. Webbing is very fragile. That sort of movement will break it right away. Oh, he's wasting his final turn. Let's finish the job. Does the burrower avoid fire? It seems like it's smart enough to do that. I can't help but notice that he did not choose to go to any of the many tiles that are lit up.
I know other enemies try to avoid walking into fire, so maybe it does as well.
For that enemy, fire means it's not attacking, so I figure it does. It's just not doing anything if it lands on fire. It will run away instead. It would be silly if it lit itself on fire, if it had the choice to not. Horned leader. Digger, Scarab, Firefly. This is the 3-tile attack enemy. I'm feeling like I'm going to have the opportunity to shove some enemies into the water there. One way or the other. We have 2 ways to do it. 2.5. He's not attacking, but he is in a really good place, so if I didn't have the torrent I would do a swap and all of that, but I do have the torrent, and it continues to be solving maps by itself. That's all I had to do to neutralize everything except for one Firefly, who I will now have shoot his friend. I think I'll light him on fire. That's a turn. We didn't really do any damage to the boss, though. We have a lot of HP to go on that. Oh, that's not the enemy I wanted. If I swap here, light that way. Finally doing boss damage. We really need to pick it up though. That's not enough to kill that guy actually. I've underestimated his health. He will run at least. I don't see a way to kill him. I think that's an okay move to do. I'm gonna repeat it. I think it's the best I've got. Really gotta start pouring that damage on the boss now, though. And I've only got one person who can do it, unless I have the Vec attack each other. I could clobber him. I could have this guy attack him. It's a little complicated. A swap here and the torrent. I would have some city damage though. I think it's worth it to make sure I get that perfect island.
Yeah, that's the kind of move that's worth one grid. Let it happen.
I would block one shot with this guy so that we don't take any other hits. And then we'd set this guy on fire and finally kill him. The movement's important here. I want this guy to go last so we can block the spawn. So I need to move this first. This makes the boss miss. We resisted it anyway, so we're really in good shape. We'll take one hit. The boss will die, because that thing an unholy amount of damage on those. And it's almost at itself. Alright. My fun on the science mech. Finally hitting that max level. And just to drive home, we can kill this guy by doing a little team shoving. Oh, I missed. Misclicked. Well, that's okay. He's harmless anyway. We don't even need the XP. I think that's the first misclick I've had. I guess with movement it doesn't matter, but when you attack you need to make sure you're on target. What did we get? Grid defense on the phone. Well, there's Henry. I don't really want any pilots. If we're going to use one, it would be the Mantis. Though Henry's ability is pretty nice too on any of these. That's a hard call. These are really good pilots. There's the electric whip. We'll see that soon. We're not going to pick that up. That is a really nice weapon, and I can't wait to show it off. It's a team weapon, though. Nothing else here of interest. We are not using the shock cannon. I need to make sure I have no need for these pilots before I swap them out. Should we get rid of Zhang? Or hang on to him and see what the Mantis gets? Or Henry? Henry's got reactor. Henry's going to be great. I'm inclined to say we should see if Henry gets movement. We'll sell the Mantis. We'll use them later. Henry would be an ace pilot for the Flame Mech. I'm going to do that. I'm not going to sell Zhang yet unless I really need the money. We need...
And you're up 3 orbs once you sell the shot cannon.
Yeah. We need 3 here and 1 here. And I would be honestly not having any use for more orbs than that. We need 4 to be having everything that I want. We don't really have room for weapons. I was thinking the Spartan shield would actually be pretty nice to have, but it's not necessary. It's a nice little backup weapon. Let's sell this for sure. There's 3 orbs, which I can use, and these 2 together would be another one, and I'd be all set. I think I'll do that. This is a fine idea. Yeah, we'll get 4 out of this, the 4 I want. That's gonna be this, and movement up. There's our team maxed out, pretty much. We don't really need health, I don't think. And Henry's a very evasive pilot. Move on this thing would be nuts, but 5 is already.
You could just take this team to the end game right now. I'm not sure what else you would get from a 4th island.
It's true. I've been doing 4 islands just as a way to show off the team. 3 islands usually is what I aim for. 2 seems a little short. We still need a 2-island victory, but that's going to be done on the Blitzkrieg team. They have an achievement for it. Well, we'll see you next time, folks, when we make a choice.